Hello everyone, and welcome to Dream Team. I'm Alice Langlois.
And I'm Trent Lenkarski.
Oh no, it's spooky, Trent.
Yes, because it's the Halloween episode.
Ha 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 ha. I'm just kidding. I'm actually evil, Alice.
Oh my god.
This is gonna be the scariest episode we've ever done, you guys.
The vibes are like wicked scary right now.
Yeah, for those of you listening at home, I am currently looking at Trent on Discord and he's wearing some really scary makeup. I'm shivering in my timbers right now.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. It's setting the mood, which is spooky.
Very good. Yeah, I have like white face paint on and like black eyes and demon spirit things coming out of my eyes.
Yeah, definitely a haunting look.
Yes.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so this no, don't apologize. It's perfectly appropriate because this is our Halloween episode.
Yeah.
So it's going to be pretty much nightmares only. So if you're not prepared to listen to some spooky, scary stories, maybe put this one on hold until you can leave the lights on. But for those of you who are ready for some frights, buckle in.
Yeah. We got some good ones.
Oh, definitely. I will say, even though we are doing a spooky episode, the nightmares that we got are still pretty, like, we're not going to describe anything super disturbing. However, the first submission, at the very end of it, there is a brief mention of body horror, so I'm just going to leave that out there for anybody who needs to know that.
Okie doke.
Just so we can, have a safe podcast space for everybody.
Yeah. We can try to remember to say it right beforehand too.
Oh yeah, I will.
Just in case you're listening and forget.
To get us started, though, do you have any scary, spooky dreams to share?
Yes, I do. I have two kind of shorter ones. One was pretty recent, and the other one was a few years ago. The one that was recent, I didn't really write it down because it wasn't too intense. It was literally like 2 or 3 days ago, though, which was crazy. Like crazy good timing.
Whoa, good timing.
Yeah. It was very like, I guess like ethereal. Like it felt like it was in like black and white almost, but it was just kind of from first person perspective. And it was like me, and I was just going through like a haunted house, which I notoriously don't like. I tell people I don't like to go to them around Halloween because they really freak me out. I've had some not good times at them.
Like actual haunted houses, or like the kind that are like attractions that you walk through and people jump at you?
Yeah, no, like the second one, like attraction ones. Yeah, so like that's what it was in my dream, and I don't know. I guess maybe it wasn't like a lucid dream, but maybe there was some element of it where I was like, I knew this was a dream because I wasn't really like super scared going through it. It was almost like people would like pop out, and it was just like I just wouldn't react, like kind of thing. I just remember more. It wasn't like a specific timeline of events that happened in the dream. It was just kind of more like that vibe. But I remember like the location. It was almost like an old like antique shop or something. Like it was like a huge like house like with a bunch of antiques everywhere, and like paintings and old dressers and stuff. But yeah, and then I do remember one point that did kind of freak me out, which was like, it was like this big open area with like, it was like a staircase. So it was like probably 2 or 3 floors up. Or I think I was about 2 or 3 floors up. But it was like almost like a square going down, if that makes sense. And this like a spiral staircase on the outside, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so there's like a big gap down the middle, but thing that freaked me out was like one of the people like jumped up from below.
Well,
so like that, I remember that.
Don't like that.
That part scared me, yeah. But yeah, and then I feel like everyone was just kind of looked like clowns. I think that was part of it too. I'm not scared of clowns really, but it was just like everyone was just kind of like like white face paint, almost like how I look, like white face paint with almost like clown makeup.
You're channeling your inner demons right now.
Yeah, I guess so. But that's pretty much it. There wasn't nothing really too distinct about that one, other than what I described.
Yeah, very spooky indeed.
Yeah. And then I do have the second one, which is also kind of short, if you want me to say that now, or I could say it after yours.
Yeah, no, please do.
Okie doke. This one's pretty spooky, I think. It was a sleep paralysis kind of dream.
Not a fan of that.
Yeah, sorry. But it was really short. I was back in my bedroom in Massachusetts, so like my childhood bedroom, the bed I was in most of my life, pretty much, the room I was in most of my life, and I don't know if you have this or if any of the listeners have this, but for whatever reason, there was like one corner of the room where like if it was like at night and I heard a noise, I would kind of like look at that corner. You know what I mean?
Interesting. I think
Okay,
maybe when I was a kid, like my closet was kind of that for me, but
Right. Yeah, for whatever reason, I was never scared of something being in the closet or under my bed. I know those are the classics, but there's just like this corner, and it's for the longest time there was like a dresser or like a bureau, and then like about a foot of space where that corner is, so it was just always very dark, especially at night. There was just like this weird little dark space, and then, but anyway, that's just a little bit of context for the dream, or the sleep paralysis dream. But it was just me in bed, and then like I looked at that corner, and there was just like this tall, dark, shadowy figure standing there.
So scary.
But wait, there's more.
No.
Yeah. So I remember it, the way that it looked. It was just kind of like a weird, like black figure, like I said, but it was just kind of like almost like flickering or like fidgeting really fast. So it was just like, I don't really know how to describe it.
I think I can imagine what you mean. Like sort of glitching out a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. So kind of like that, but yeah. But you know how in a dream, I know we talk about this, but you just know like, oh, this house is like my house, but mixed with Walmart or whatever. Like you just know like things.
Totally.
So there was something in me that was like, yep, this is a demon. Like my brain was just like, yep, this is a demonic thing. This is 100% a demon. But yeah, and then the only other thing that happened is it kind of reached out its hand at me, and it said like, you're next. And then it just kind of like shot this like dark bolt at me, this dark ball of energy.
Oh my gosh, that's so scary.
Yeah.
Wow, that is terrifying.
Yeah. And then I woke up.
Yeah,
So yeah, I don't know what I'm next for, but I'm next for something.
Maybe it's something good, and maybe you'll be the next winner of a big prize.
Yeah, but I had that about 2 or 3 years ago, I think, because it was when I was living back home with my parents after college for a little. Yeah, but
that's so
yeah.
I've had sleep paralysis a few times in my life.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
But I have never hallucinated during it.
Oh, interesting.
And I know that's very common to like see a figure.
Yeah.
But I've never had that, thankfully. However, it doesn't make it any less bad.
Yeah.
For me, it just feels like something is holding me down, and that I can't open my eyes or like move my mouth. And I'm like fighting against like it usually feels like a person is holding me down in bed or something, and I can't open my eyes and see who it is, and then I wake up and I'm like, what? And like nothing, like obviously nothing is there, and I'm fine. But yeah, it feels like I can't get out of bed, but I can't see. Like that's the whole thing. It's just like I can't see anything, and I don't know what's scarier. I think honestly, I don't think I would like to see a demon.
Yeah. I don't know.
But I also don't really like being touched by one either.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'd rather see something than be touched, I guess.
I mean, I guess I would, yeah, it would be all right to see something on the other side of the room that isn't like explicitly on me.
Mm-hmm.
But I think.
But it blasted me. It blasted me with an orb of energy.
Yeah, no, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I think I just don't like sleep paralysis.
No, I don't think many people do.
Pretty bad thing.
Mm. Yeah. I'd only had it like one other time in college, and nothing, just like seeing a little, like a little guy. No, but I just remember.
Like a mare.
What? No.
Like a mare from last time.
No, sorry.
Oh.
Because they sit on you.
Yeah. But what if he was about to sit on you?
No, he was across the room.
Was there a horse?
I don't think so.
Oh. Must have been someone else.
Yeah, just a tall guy standing in my room. But yeah, those are both of mine. I would love to hear yours.
Oh, thank you for sharing. Yeah,
Of course. I hope they weren't too scary.
I'm sufficiently spooked. No, just the right amount.
Cool.
I have one that I would describe it more as creepy, but the reason that I picked it for this episode is because it's I think the dream that messed me up the most for the longest time after I woke up. Like, every once in a while I'll have a weird dream. I'll wake up and maybe for like an hour I'll be like, ugh, like weirded out. But this dream made me like question myself for like a good 5 or 6 hours, like half a day or so afterwards.
I've had that before.
And it really messed me up. So it was in probably 2017 or 2018. I was in my off-campus college apartment. I was lying in bed, and I turned over and checked my phone. It was 7:41 a.m. Time to get up. I got out of bed, opened the door to the hallway, and I started walking down the hallway. And about midway down the hallway, so usually in that apartment there would be a room to the right with a sink and a nook to the left for the oven and the refrigerator. It was a strange setup because it was a renovated attic.
I see.
So the kitchen was kind of separated across this little hallway, and then past that on the left would be like the living room where we had our dining table and our couches, and at the very end of the hallway would be my roommate's room. So I make it midway down the hallway, and I notice to my right there's this staircase going up, which wasn't usually there because we were on the top floor. And at the base of the stairs there was this like big sort of bullfrog looking creature sitting on the bottom step. And as soon as I saw that and thought to myself, well, that's not right, my right foot like sank into the floor, like it just warped into the floor, and I fell. And then I woke up.
Whoa.
And I turned to the side and I checked my phone, and it was 7:41 a.m. And it was time to get up. So I got up, I opened the door, I started walking down the hallway. It looked normal. And I thought, okay, good. I'm actually awake this time.
Mm-hmm.
And about 3/4 of the way down the hallway towards the living room, I see this like creepy little girl standing in the hallway. And as soon as I see her and think to myself, well, that's not right, I wake up. And I look at my phone. And it's 7:41 a.m. And I get out of bed, and I open the door, and walk down the hallway, and everything seems normal. And my mom is in the kitchen, cooking me breakfast. And for whatever reason, at this moment, it didn't occur to me that that wasn't right.
Mm-hmm.
I said good morning to her, and I kept walking down the hallway to go into the living room and wait for breakfast. So I go into the living room, and the TV on our living room is on. And I look at the TV, and that little girl is on the TV.
Huh.
And I wake up. And I look at my phone. And it's 7:41 a.m. But this time I'm actually awake. And I spent the whole rest of that day wondering if I was actually awake or not, because having it happen that many times in a row, like, I think was a minor trauma to me.
Yeah.
And I felt like physically and mentally off for like many hours after that, I was like looking at my, like, counting my fingers. Like, that's like something you're supposed to do to tell if you're in a dream or not.
Huh.
Is like count your fingers, because apparently, like, you shouldn't be able to if you're in a dream. Like, you'll have the wrong number of fingers, or you just won't be able to count them.
Oh, I've never heard that.
So I was like doing that, and I was just like, okay, like 5 fingers. But yeah, I think the thing that freaked me out the most is when I actually woke up, the time on my phone was the same.
Yeah.
As it was in the dream.
No, that is really freaky.
And yeah, I was like, I like didn't want to be in my apartment for like the rest of the day.
Oh.
It was so scary. I felt like I could have gotten stuck or something, like in an endless loop.
Dang. Well, I'm glad you didn't.
Yeah, me too.
And guess what time it is? It's 7:41.
No!
You're still in the dream.
No!
Not really. It's like 10 o'clock.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Thank gosh.
But yeah, wow. That's crazy. I've had dreams where I've woken up and then woken up in real life.
Mm-hmm.
But only like once. Like it happens like once where it's like, oh, whoa, that's weird.
Yeah, like, and I've had that before too, and it's like, yeah, it's like a little weird, but this was like, yeah, disturbing. 3
or 4 times. That's crazy.
Yeah. It was quite stressful. And yeah, like I think doing that, and then specifically, it's different from, like, you know, waking up and you're still in a dream, but like you're in obviously like a different place than you'd normally sleep. Like, this was like exactly, it wasn't, you know, an entirely weird version of my apartment. Everything was completely as it should be, except for one off detail. And as soon as I noticed that, I would quote unquote wake up and have to try again.
Yeah.
But it was everything else was so normal, and so vividly so, like, so accurate, that when I did actually wake up, I was kind of disturbed because I felt like I couldn't tell. Because it was, yeah, so vivid. Creepy.
Yes, very. Wow. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. I heard that you brought a dream fact, because I did too.
Yes, I did. Is yours also an entity?
Mine is an entity.
You have an entity of sleep.
Yes.
I guess I can start with mine.
Yeah, I would love to hear.
So I chose the classic, you know him, you love him, the Sandman.
Woo! Like audience applause. Yeah! Like in a sitcom or something.
Yeah, I can add that in.
Oh, fantastic. I love post-production.
Yeah, I'll add in some laughing right now too, because that was funny. But yeah, so I chose the Sandman. It's a name you hear a lot, but you don't really think about too much. At least I don't.
I just think of the song, really.
Yeah.
And also the guy from Rise of the Guardians who doesn't talk.
Rise of the Guardians.
Do you remember that movie? It had like Jack Frost, but he was like an attractive teenager. And then Santa was like also attractive and like buff and Russian.
Well, Santa already is attractive.
All right. We're just going to move past that.
Okay.
This is a Halloween episode.
Yeah. We'll save that for the Christmas episode. So the Sandman, it really depends where you start, but so I chose to start in 1700s Germany. That's where I chose to start, because it depends, like, there's like a bunch of different like rabbit holes and ways you can like look at them, and in some ways it goes all the way back. The idea of it goes all the way back to Morpheus, who is the god of sleep or dreams in ancient Greece.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. But and also Morpheus is the name of the guy from The Matrix, so that's cool.
I'm thinking of that rap from Eric Andre.
Yes.
And yeah. Morpheus, orifices. Walruses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Sandman.
Yes. So there's a couple different like versions. I think it just, the idea of this guy was created, and then a bunch of different like iterations and ideas of it came from that. Actually, it was 1800s Germany, not 1700s. My apologies. But it's part of a short story by E.T.A. Hoffman titled Der Sandman, which I assume is the Sandman.
Yeah.
But part of it is that he he would throw sand in the eyes of children who wouldn't like go to sleep, and
Okay.
it would cause the children's eyes to fall out. And and the Sandman would collect them, as you do. And and this part, it just sounds like a joke, but and then he would. This is what it says on Wikipedia. It would take the eyes to his iron nest on the moon, and use them to feed his children.
Wait, I know this story.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
I didn't realize. It's because I studied stop motion in college.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody wants to see a visual version of this horrifying story, there is a 1991 stop motion short film called The Sandman. It is animated and directed by Paul Berry. I think it was nominated for an Oscar. But I watched this. I think I was made to watch this multiple times in college. It's a very celebrated film for good reason. It's very good and very well animated and very creepy. But I distinctly remember like that, watching that and being like, is this like this guy's interpretation of the Sandman? Like, cause this is like, because he like, I mean, it's not spoiling it because Trent just said it, but like in the film, he like takes the eyes out of a kid and like feeds them to his weird bird babies. It's delightfully creepy and terrifying. I would highly recommend watching it. I can't believe you just reminded me of that. That's crazy. Paul Berry, The Sandman, 1991, stop motion.
I just looked it up and I skimmed through it, and it looks very creepy.
The character design for the Sandman is awesome. He looks sort of like he's inspired by the moon and a bird.
He's very vulture-like.
And a guy. It's just very, very cool looking design. Anyway. Yeah. Sorry to have interjected.
No, it's okay. There wasn't really too much else. I mean there kind of is, but there's just a bunch of different versions. There's that one where he takes the eyes physically. There's another one where he sprinkles the sand and it like just blinds you without taking the eyes. So that's pretty spooky.
Yeah, that's very spooky.
Yeah. So this idea of this he's usually kind of depicted as like older, like kind of an older guy.
Okay.
But he comes into your house or the house of children and throws sand on them in their eyes specifically.
This is why I wear an eye mask.
Ah, good thinking.
I like having my eyes.
Yeah, me too. Maybe I should start sleeping with an eye mask. But yeah, the only other thing I had is part of the interpretation or why there is a Sandman is because, you know, when you wake up after a good night's sleep and you got the crusties all over your eyes.
You got all the schmutz in your eyes.
Yeah.
That's from the Sandman?
Yep. It means that he was there and he was giving you your dreams.
But he didn't take my eyes?
Yeah, I forgot to say, but that's the other interpretation. There's two, like, there's like good Sandman and bad Sandman lore, basically.
I see.
So the bad Sandman lore is it's like misbehaving kids. If they're not falling asleep, he's gonna take their eyes or blind them. And the good interpretation is he's just a kindly old guy, and he comes to your house and he's like, "Yep, you can have a dream," and sprinkles a little sand on you.
Sprinkle.
While you sleep. Yeah. So that's pretty much it.
Thank you for sharing your Sandman facts.
Of course. And then you have some scary creature?
I do have a scary creature.
Ooh.
It's also pretty short. I couldn't find a ton of information, but I was very intrigued. It's called a pesanta, I believe.
Pesanta.
And it comes from Catalan folklore, as in from Catalonia, part of Spain.
Oh, okay.
And it's this just huge, enormous dog. Sometimes it's a cat, but usually it's a big dog, like really big. And it has really dark fur that's apparently as heavy as lead. And it has paws that are either made out of steel or iron, that it can hit you with.
Oh, geez.
However, the one caveat is that its paws have holes in them, so it can't take anything from you or your home.
Huh.
So, I don't know. I just thought that was a very interesting, like, detail and a very interesting creature design.
Yeah.
And what the pesanta does is it comes into your house at night, and unsurprisingly, it sits on your chest.
Oh.
And it's so big and heavy that makes it difficult to breathe, and it gives you nightmares.
Dang.
So, possible theories on why this creature exists in folklore is sleep paralysis.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds a lot like that.
Mm-hmm. Similar to the mayor.
Yes. Yeah.
From last episode. Yeah.
Just like instead of a little guy, it's just a big, huge, scary dog that weighs a lot because it's like partially made out of metal. And if you are worried about being visited by a pesanta, I did find some tips on how you can ward them off. So there's 3 different things you could do, apparently. You can spread millet in your doorway.
What is millet?
If you're it's like a grain. Birds love it. We used to give it to my sister's pet bird all the time.
Oh, gotcha.
So if you got some millet, just like throw it in your doorway. You can try placing a broom next to your bed.
Okay.
Or the wording of this was, I wasn't really sure like how to interpret it, but basically it seemed like you can say something to the pesanta that would force it to count all the stars in the sky, which presumably would prevent it from coming into your home. Okay. And this, I know it sounds funny, but
you just give it a riddle.
Well, and I didn't look this part up, but that did remind me. I'm fairly sure I have heard in other like folk tales involving demons, or like the devil, specifically. In a lot of cultures, there is this like phenomenon where like you can prevent them from, attacking you or doing something bad to you by like throwing beans or like something that you have a lot of on the ground, and either make them or the demon will actually be compelled to count all of them.
Interesting.
And thus it would give you time to, I guess, get away, because they would be stuck there, like compulsively counting all the beans. I'll look into that. I might be spouting nonsense, but I'm pretty sure I've heard of that in different folktales. That like some demons have this compulsion to like count innumerable things. So I guess it works on the pesanta as well. I don't know why. It's just funny imagining this big dog trying to count stars.
I like that.
Yeah, pretty interesting.
I'm trying to think what you could say to it other than please count the stars.
You must count every star in the sky now.
Okay, I'll do that.
If you want to sit on my chest and make me have nightmares. Okay. 1, 2, 3. I lost track. Yeah.
1.
I'm just a dog.
2. Oh man.
This is hard.
I don't know numbers.
I'm just gonna go try somebody else's house. See ya.
Well, very cool. I had one other question.
Yeah.
What is there like a year? Like when do you know when this myth kind of started of this guy?
No, unfortunately.
Okay.
Like I said, I had a hard time finding out a lot of information about this creature. I found my usual Wikipedia entry, a few wiki entries on other websites, and an article from someone who has a blog where they like specialize in writing about like mythical and like folklore creatures. But there wasn't really any like historical deep dives. It might just be like a word of mouth thing.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that's my dream fact. My entity.
Very good. Just got two good entities. Well, bad entities.
Yeah.
Well,
possibly good in the case
possibly
of the Sandman.
Yeah. I guess possibly good in the Pesanta because he's not going to steal your stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's got those holes.
Yeah.
In its paws.
It'll just sit on you and make you have bad dreams. But yeah, certainly won't take your eyeballs.
Very good.
Do you want to move on to some submissions?
Yes, I think that would be a good idea. So we have a couple, right?
Yeah, we have 2 from Ty, and 1 from Nicole.
Ah, okay. You want me to do the first one of Ty's and then you'll do the second one?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay.
And this first one from Ty, as I mentioned earlier, has a very brief mention of some kind of body horror stuff.
Right. So getting started. So Ty writes, "Hi," with a little face. I have a few scary ones written down. One of my first ever dream journal entries was an eerie/creepy dream. I don't usually feel scared in dreams that are supposed to be scary or off-putting, though it's only usually after I wake up that I realize the dream was a bit strange. In this dream, there was a tall medieval-style tower with bodies hanging down from it by their wrists, which are shackled in chains. One guy, extremely pale, with thin white hair, who was the original body, as in the first one to ever exist in the tower, was located at the top. He had red playing card symbols all over his body. Below was another guy, with no symbols, who had a long curly horn sticking out of his forehead. The higher powers, or whoever runs this place, come to the tower to harvest the flesh of the bodies once a week, to the point where they're near death, but they never die.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's very spooky.
Very spooky. It kind of reminds me of the Greek myth of Prometheus.
Yes, I think I know the one.
Yeah, he gave humans fire, which he wasn't supposed to do, and then the other guys got mad at him and like chained him to a rock where like an eagle or something pecks out his liver every day.
Yeah.
Bad punishment.
Yeah. Specific punishment.
Yes.
Just the liver. It doesn't want the other
stuff. Gives me the chills just thinking about it. So really? Awful. Thank you, Ty.
Yes, thank you, Ty, for this horrible dream.
I'll read the second one. You might find some interesting serendipity with this one, Trent.
Okay.
Ty writes, "Here's one that's more recent. I've always wondered how I would handle going through a haunt attraction, and I guess this dream was there to answer. LOL. I was with my friends, and we were in a theme park during the Halloween season. The park wasn't themed to Halloween, though. They just had the haunts up and active. The first one we went through, I actually didn't plan on going through. I just needed to get to the other side of the park, and the fastest way to it was through this attraction. It was basically like the back rooms, stained yellow walls with white trim and dim fluorescent lights. The halls were super small, only room for one person to walk down at a time. And it was also a maze, actually. And there was a scare around every single corner, and sometimes hidden within the walls. Ugh. The creatures/monsters looked really real, not like costumes. It was super stressful, because it was loud and things were jumping at you, and lots of eye contact. I feel awkward if people are playing a character and want me to play along with it, because I'm worried I won't know what to say or what to respond with. Very relatable. So I try avoiding eye contact, so I don't have to engage with them. Point being, the entire time I was going through this maze, I was looking at the floor and trying to navigate it as fast as I could. I got out and realized my friend wasn't with me, so I went back to find them. No. So I had to go through all that again.
Oh no.
And got them. We were on the other side of the park now, and we walked to a different attraction. It was another haunt, but this one was less intense and kind of fun. And Ty added this little aside at the end of their submission that I included. They say, also, one time when I was listening to the pod before bed, you guys were saying something like, quote, try not to have nightmares, unquote, or something along those lines, you know? And when I tried to go to sleep, I kept seeing this lady with a giant balloon head, big bulging eyes and huge pupils, and a super thin but lanky body repeatedly falling forward like into my face. Crying emoji. It was freaky, but I managed to get it out of my head eventually. Alien emoji. I hope these were fun to read. Again, love the pod. Ty.
Thank you, Ty. Sorry about that.
We told you to try not to, but I guess it doesn't always work.
You gotta try harder. Or something.
I thought it was so funny that they had a dream about a haunted house like you did. I didn't know what you were gonna bring to the episode, so that's kind of hilarious.
No, that's so interesting.
Absolutely.
Very, very unexpected.
Yeah, we've had a lot of episodes lately where a dream that one of us brings is like very related to a dream that a listener brings.
It's cool.
Yeah, serendipitous.
I like it. Yeah. And then I guess I'll do the last dream. And this is from one of my friends, Nicole. And she writes, "Hi Trent, it's your dear friend Nicole. I've got a few up my sleeve. Feel free to ask if you want to hear more. This one is the spookiest dream I've had so far. For background reference, I'm constantly in a lucid state when I sleep. Unfortunately, I don't know what triggers it. So there was this spirit in the house filled to the brim with random people. I was hunting for the spirit because it's an evil entity that possesses people. Keep in mind I've had previous dreams like this in the past, so it doesn't faze me, and it actually continues from a previous dream I had. For some odd reason, no one in the room can figure out who's possessed and who isn't. However, I seem to be the only person that can. God knew I've been the shit since day one."
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, Nicole. "So I tried to gather up every person in one room so it's easier to keep track, but no one listens. I followed this girl to a room to the left, and there's some people in there, but no one seems to be possessed. She pulled out a pink see-through folder with a printed out page sitting inside the folder from her backpack, set it on the table, looked at me, and walked away. Instinctively, I walked over, and in that printed page were details about a specific demon. Its name is Tobias, and it told me some info about it on the paper, but I don't recall any more, just the name. So I thought that made so much sense. Set it down, went back to what I was doing. I hear a knock on the door, and I open it. Lo and behold, it's a pizza guy. But no one ordered pizza, and once I administered that thought, it had a certain look in its eye that I knew too well. Possession.
No!
And MF just took me on. We were roughing each other up a bit and really went at it in the living room. We reached the living room brawling. I recall looking him, the pizza man, in the eyes and saying, "I know what your name is. It's Tobias." And then I woke up. I was quick to remember the name and Google it to see if it's a real demon. Lo and behold, it is. I will never forget that. That left a mark on me.
Whoa.
Interesting.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
And that I just realized hearing you read that one out loud. Nicole dreamed about something that was real, and I dreamed about the time before I knew what time it was.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of creepy. Not the same, but strange.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Yeah. Thank you,
That's
Nicole.
So weird. Yeah. Thank you, Nicole.
And I mean that's another sort of like common demon fact, right? Where like knowing their name can sometimes be a form of power over them.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like being able to identify a demon might actually, give you the upper hand in some way. So, I don't know. Like the fact that you said that, it seems like a power move to me.
Yeah.
I know who you are.
Yes, I know your name. And then another parallel to my dream, the sleep paralysis, just the idea of a demon, I guess.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Except it was Pizza Man.
No.
Not the pizza guy.
Tobias.
How could you?
I should look up and see if there's anything about what happened to me in my sleep paralysis thing.
What do you mean?
I don't know. And I'm just wondering if that's like, if anyone else has had that. Just a demon like pointing at them and saying like, "You're next." Like, what does that mean?
I wonder, because there is a strange phenomenon of like many people reporting like the same types of, like, I would really like to do a dream fact at some point on the Hat Man.
Oh, yes.
Have you ever seen the Hat Man?
I think I have.
Yeah, but
I think
that's,
we talked about this.
That's a weird one, right? Because lots of people have seen the Hat Man, and that's kind of messed up, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's really bizarre.
Mm-hmm. The Hat Man.
But maybe there's someone out there who has seen your demon and also gotten blasted, and maybe they know what's next.
Yeah.
It's you.
Maybe it was a different person. It's just like a thing that gets passed on. So I have to become that demon and pass it on to someone else. Ugh. And so on and so forth.
Yeah, I had this sleep paralysis the other night. This tall 6-foot-something figure in the corner of my room. It kind of looked like Trent and then he shot me with the bolts of darkness and said I was next. Yeah, he was wearing scary makeup.
Cool. But yeah, thank you, Nicole. I forget if we said it or not, but yeah, thank you, Nicole.
Yeah, thank you everybody for sending us your scary nightmares.
Nicole and Ty.
Yes, they were fantastic.
Yes. But yeah, I guess that about wraps it up for this episode, right?
Yeah, I hope that everybody out there is having or had a great Halloween full of frights and delights.
Yes. Tricks and treats.
Oh, absolutely.
Smelling feet. Maybe not that one.
Yeah.
Having something good to eat.
I'll keep that one private.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we always love a good what's your favorite Halloween candy?
So I've got like 2.
Oh, okay.
I think I've talked about, I don't think I've talked about it on the podcast, but I think I've said this before, where it's like, I think people are either like artificial fruit people or chocolate people.
I'm definitely a chocolate person.
You're a chocolate, yeah.
Yeah.
So for chocolate, I'd say Twix, and then for artificial fruit stuff, I'd say either Swedish Fish or Sour Patch Kids.
Good choices.
Yeah.
I'm definitely a like Twix or Kit Kat. Like, it's got to be covered in chocolate and crunchy.
Yes. Definitely.
Best combo.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a fruit one?
Oh.
A fruit favorite, or just chocolate?
I would prefer chocolate over fruit in general. But I'm not opposed to like a little bag of Swedish Fish. I think they're tasty.
Nice. Heck yeah.
Speaking of which, though, I gotta bounce because it is all right. It is 10:40 on October 30th, and I am not done with my Halloween costume, and I need to be done with it. I may be pulling an all-nighter, which is very spooky, and I've never done that before. So
no.
Let us.
I might be pulling one too, finishing the podcast.
Oh, I don't want to make you do that. No. You don't have to do that.
I'll be working on it tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Listeners, I was working on this the morning after we recorded this.
Okay.
Also, before we go, we gotta say the 2 things.
Oh yes, of course.
Thank you to the people who submitted their dreams, and if you are somebody who has done it before, or if you want to do it for the first time, you can go ahead and send your dreams to dreamteampodcastsubmissions@gmail.com. Again, that's dreamteampodcastsubmissions@gmail.com. And you can also follow us. Yeah. Oh, you can do it.
Okay. And if you'd like to see any visual aids, dream drawings, or other related photos of the things that we talk about.
My scary Halloween makeup.
Oh, yes. If you want to see a picture of Trent's scary Halloween makeup, check out our Instagram at Dream Team with Alice and Trent. We upload a post every episode, and we also do polls and like other interactive things on our Instagram stories. So definitely go ahead and check that out. Give us a follow.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging in there for this scary, spooky episode. We hope you enjoyed it, and we hope you get good sleep despite listening to all these spooky dreams. No nightmares. Halloween is all about scaring away the demons by wearing a interesting and spooky costume.
Yeah. Wait, it is?
Right? You put on a mask so that all the demons see it and go, ugh.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I might be pulling stuff out of my ass again.
That's okay. But yeah, I hope you all have a great Halloween if you're someone who celebrates it, and if not, I hope you still have a great night.
Yes, have a lovely night. Don't be like me and stay up. Get some great sleep.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, everyone. Happy Halloween. Alice already stopped recording, so she can't say anything while I do this bit. Good night, everyone.